spirits meet. And today I have another Glenglassaugh on the cask. And the Glenglassaugh is a Glenglassaugh that is one of the oldest of the new distillery, or the new opening. So yes, Glenglassaugh was closed until 2008. And they opened in 2008 and began distilling. And this is a cask from the early times and honoring the new revival of the distillery. Unfortunately, it's not from 2008, from the year of the beginning, but from the year 2009. And there are a lot of dates and a lot of numbers here on the cask. And it says cask number 1830, bottled 2020, the bottle number, port pipe, the type of port, and distilled 11/06/2009, age 11 years. And that's the European way of saying the date, so it's the 11th of July and not the 6th of November. And yes, it was bottled in 2020. They only say 2020, but 11 years, so it must have been after June, not July, not June. June is the 6th month, and it's 55.4% ABV. No coloring, no chill filtration. So I'm gonna show you the bottle. This is the bottle, all the dates and numbers on there. 11 years. Nice. So yeah, that is the bottle. And yeah, it's a coastal distillery, so it might be a little influence of the coastal tour. But I expect that there will be a lot of cask influence as well as a port cask. It doesn't say finish, doesn't say it was fully matured in a port cask, but I suspect it was. So let's have a try. Oh, this is a well-matured whiskey. From the nose, I would have said a lot older. A lot older. It's round, it's mild, it got a nice sherry influence, dark fruits, a little bit muffy. It's a wonderfully nicely matured whiskey, and it looks a little bit creamy, so that looks a lot older than it is. Let's have a look how the taste is like. A 55% give it a good kick, and in the flavor and the taste, I don't have 20 years. Well, 11 years should be right. It's still very much of a port influence, so this good sherry character with fruits, nuts, a little bit of bitterness going on here as well. It reminds me a little bit of the bitterness of tea. I had tea on Sri Lanka, Ceylon, and there they had the fermentation of the tea, and then they thieved it. So the big leaves went off to Western countries for the mild, good tea, and the little bits they actually kept for themselves. They were really intense, really bitter. And I had a tea with the locals, and they didn't have any sugar in it, and it was really, really intense and bitter. And this kind of bitterness and flavor profile, that reminds me of that whiskey. Nice whiskey. It's very intense. It does have a lot of oak in it as well, but for some reason the oak doesn't stay on long. Usually the oak tastes are the one that go beyond and go to the finish, but this has the dark fruits and the bitterness that stays on. Yeah, the bitterness might come from the tannins in the wood, so might be the oak that stays on long in there as well. But a very well selected cask, a very good cask from the Glenglassaugh distillery, and a good choice from Rachel Barrie to bottle this. I would expect she bottled it because of the sheer intensity of the whiskey. If you'd wait another 5, 6, 10 years with that, you would have a really, really, really strong whiskey, and it would probably just be overwhelming. For a lot of beginners, intermediates, this might already be overwhelming. It really depends on your flavor profile. If you'd like the intensity, then go for it. She released a couple of these single cask barrels or bottlings, 10 of them, to celebrate the revival of the distillery in 2008. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, then please feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to know more about the Glenglassaugh distillery, there is a distillery video here on the channel, on the Whisky.com YouTube channel, or on the Whisky.com database, and you can find all the distilleries, read up on it, and watch the video of the whole tour through the distillery and learn everything about Glenglassaugh. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.